There's a hadith by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings be upon him, which actually states the upper hand, it's greater than the lower hand. So basically it teaches us that we should be giving than receiving. And one of the reasons for unemployment or long-term unemployment is people, after losing their job, they become dependent on the social benefit system, especially in the West. People just like wait there until their perfect job comes along instead of adapting to change. Now, as Muslims, we have to go back to our real purpose in life. Now, in the Quran it tells us very clearly the purpose of life is for mankind and jinn is to serve Allah. Now, serving Allah isn't just in prayer and giving zakat and all that. Also, working is a form of worship. Serving mankind. Now, I just want to share a quick story with you.
Please,
inshallah.
please do. We've been waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a man who went to a wise man once, and he said to him, you know, oh wise man, you know, I want to be great. And he said to him, if you really want to be great, then find a way to service the many, for service to many leads to greatness. So that's the key. You serve the fellow mankind, you serve society as a whole through working, through doing business, or find a way to solve solution, you know, give a solution to problems. And that way you become great in this dunya and in the akhirah, in this world and in the hereafter. And that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for paradise. We're aiming for what comes after this life.
Sheikh, I know you wanted to add something to the importance of for us as Muslims of having a job and benefiting the society around us.
That's exactly the main reason, you know, Allah was encouraging us to do, and as we see today, individually or in general, for the individual, for the Muslim, to be able to support himself, to be able to worship God, to be able to pay his bill, to be able to pay his zakat, for example, to help the other people. You know, this is, and also for his decision, for own decision, and also for the countries today. We found the countries who has the money or be able to produce and have you know, factories and can import and export. They have the upper hand. They have the ability for the decision of other people. They are individual and independent for, you know, to support themselves. So nobody can affect them. Nobody can, you know.
So they are in control, and as a result, their society is in control of others. So yeah, I see. It's extremely important.
Very important. And Allah, you know, also encouraging us and ordering us to prepare whatever we can to support ourselves and to be strong enough and to have the power and the authority against whoever think to attack or to, you know, abuse the country or people.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you there, Sheikh, because we have calling live into the show at the moment the ambassador, the ex-ambassador of Egypt, Mr. Hussein Haridi. Mr. Hussein Haridi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaykum salam. Alaykum salam.
Welcome to the show on Huda.
It's my pleasure, sir.
You're on straight path now.
Yes.
We really wanted to get your idea about how unemployment is affecting the Ummah at the moment. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I putting, of course, taking into consideration the economic side of the problem of unemployment, I would like to say that the Muslim countries must fight unemployment because I believe that the religion of Islam is one of the main stays of Islam is the protection of human dignity, and I guess that unemployment from a religious point of view is not conducive to human dignity. This is the first consideration. The second consideration is that unemployment gives rise to insecurity. And I guess another basic principle of Islam is to provide society with security. Thirdly, unemployment is a proof that solidarity, social and economic solidarity, is not ensured in an Islamic society. And I would like to say that solidarity in Muslim countries, in Muslim societies, is a basic, should be a basic fact of life. I can't conceive of an Islamic society where few are rich and the majority is poor. This, personally speaking, I guess is against the spirit of Islam and against Islam in the letter, the Quran itself. Fourthly, is that the unemployed, I consider the unemployed as a lost opportunity cost for society. Imagine in the Muslim world, we have almost 100 million people who are employed. To give you an example, in other words, you have in the Muslim world 100 million people who are unable to spend money, and this is a lost opportunity cost for Islamic countries.
So Mr. Hussein, can I ask you, what would be your advice then to people who find themselves unemployed? What would you say to them, from an Islamic perspective?
If you may allow me, sir, I personally believe that the unemployed are the victims of failed government policies. This is the first thing. And the second thing, they are the victims of the unequal distribution of wealth in Muslim countries. And so I'm not going to ask the unemployed. I'm going to ask the people who, the businessmen, the multinationals, the big corporations, and governments in the Islamic countries to find ways and to find solutions so that these millions of unemployed could find work, could find decent jobs, and accordingly we will give them the opportunity to live in dignity and self-respect.
Well, thank you very much, Hussein, for coming on the show and giving us your much valid and much very important opinion. We thank you very much, and we hope to see you very soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hussein Halidi there, giving a very important point, and in fact he touched on the point of the responsibility. Where does the responsibility actually lie? He's obviously blaming here firmly and quite squarely on the shoulders of the governments and the Islamic governments, or the governments in the Islamic world, let's say. And in fact, is this the right thing to do? Is this part of the problem, or is there a share to be had from the individual?
It's shared. I would put the most of the weight on the individual, because the government can do so much. They're not business people. They're not people that can actually run the economy and stimulate the economy. They take guesswork. It's a bit of a guesswork. They increase the interest rate. They reduce the interest rate. They play with the currency. They try to create policies that they think they would actually benefit, but it only benefits the people at the top. The individual, however, they've got control of their own life. They can do their own research in the market, identify, like the Sheikh could sort of tell us, one of the Sahaba who started from absolutely nothing and started his own business from the market.
Would you like to tell us
tell us
the story? I think it's
the companion Abdurrahman ibn Auf. When the migrators, they came to Medina, and they have nothing. They lost their property, their money. They left everything back in Mecca. They came with nothing, just the trip. So at the beginning, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ making like brotherhood between the helpers and the muhajirin migrators. So like for each one to be like a brother to the other, helper. So Abdurrahman ibn Auf went from the migrator, and when the Prophet ﷺ make a brotherhood between him and the helper Rubayya, he said, he came and he said, okay, this is my money, my properties. Like he shared with him everything, half and half equally. My properties, my money, even my wives. I have like 2 or 3 wives. So just choose one of them, I can give her
subhanallah.
the divorce, so you can marry her.